Okay, so the whole topic of distillation from other people's models has cropped up again over the past week. And I think it's interesting to understand what is going on here and look at what does this perhaps tell us about some of the models that we've seen coming out. So both Anthropic and Google have published detailed evidence, and OpenAI has had a leaked memo about this. And what they're all saying is that Chinese AI labs have been running industrial scale operations to copy their models. So Anthropic's article is the one that I'm going to focus on in here. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about what's being accused, looking at how it's been done, also looking at some of the history and around how people have been able to extract information from other models, and then also look at actually how distillation is done. So Anthropic has published this article, Detecting and Preventing Distillation Attacks. And in it, they've accused DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax of having 24,000 fake accounts, and then with those fake accounts, being able to extract out 16 million exchanges. And this is clearly a serious accusation. What I'm sort of more curious to look at is one, why are we seeing all of this come out right now? It seems to be very coincidental that it's coming just as a lot of these labs have released models of their own, and perhaps right on the cusp of DeepSeek releasing their next big model. And don't forget, if we go back to 2025, about a year ago, the DeepSeek model coming out caused a massive crash in the stock markets in the United States, particularly for NVIDIA. So it's interesting to look at what Anthropic is actually accusing people of, and then also talk about a little bit about what actually distillation is and how it works. Now, I'm going to focus on the Anthropic article just because they've got a lot of details in there, but they're not the only one that's had an article like this. Recently, this article came out from Google talking about this. And then there was also recently a leaked memo from OpenAI saying that China's DeepSeek was training its models from Distilling from OpenAI. Now, if we look at actually what Anthropic is saying in here, they're saying that people are using these sort of clusters of accounts to deliberately hit the model, often with very similar prompts, to be able to try and extract out the reasoning abilities, the tool use, and the coding abilities of this. So the first one that they talk about is DeepSeek here. This, I should point out that out of the 16 million calls, DeepSeek only makes up 150,000 of those exchanges. And it's very interesting to see what they're saying that DeepSeek is actually trying to do, because in some ways it's perhaps kind of smarter than what we've seen from some of the others. So one of the things that they're talking about is that DeepSeek is trying to extract out reasoning capabilities across different tasks. But also what they're trying to do is basically get Claude to act as a reward model for reinforcement learning. So we know that the Claude model has been trained on a lot of reinforcement learning, etc. And we know the whole thing is sort of like LLM as a judge or agents as a judge kind of thing, can get a model to basically grade other kinds of prompts. So what you can sort of imagine here is that as DeepSeek generates their own outputs, they want to get them basically graded by a model that they think is better. And this is what this rubric-based grading tasks is doing in here. Now, the third thing they mention here is about creating censorship-safe alternatives to policy-sensitive queries, which sounds like what they're trying to do there is basically get out how Claude handles refusals in a good way. Now, the second one up is Moonshot AI. So Moonshot AI are the makers of the Kimi K2.5 models that we've seen recently. And here they're being accused of over 3.4 million exchanges that seem to really be focused on more sort of general abilities of the Claude model. So we've got agentic reasoning and tool use, coding and data analysis, computer use agent development, and computer vision in here. I'm not sure why they would be targeting computer vision when we actually see that the Gemini models, and also perhaps to a lesser extent the GPT models, perform better at computer vision than the Anthropic models. All right, so the third company that Anthropic is accusing here is Minimax, and they certainly make up the highest amount of the exchanges here. So this is over 13 million exchanges. And again, it seems that they're more focused on things to do with sort of tool use, orchestration, and the agentic coding stuff. And if this is true, and I should stress is if this is true, I have no idea of whether this is true, whether this is not true, It seems that a lot of people are pointing out that this is kind of coincidence that all three of these labs happen to be sort of raising this at the same time, almost as if it's kind of targeted at the US Congress. But certainly if it is true, it could be one of the things that partially explains why the Minimax models and the Kimi models have gotten a lot better for coding uses recently. So there are a number of interesting tweets that have been put up that I want to sort of cover because I think they make some really good points. So first off is this one, which basically shows that in many ways, DeepSeek makes up less than 1% of these total exchanges here. And clearly they've been much more focused on sort of surgical things. So that whole sort of reward model grading and stuff like that I talked about. And this does make it really interesting to see, okay, what is the next DeepSeek model going to be like? Are we going to get a model that is on par with the proprietary labs? Another tweet that I found interesting came from the Tiny Corp. So this is a startup that George Hotz basically put together. And it makes some really interesting points that these people paid for those tokens and that Anthropic didn't like how those tokens were being used. And that perhaps it sounds like that actually Anthropic have been spying on their customers to know what you've actually been using tokens for. Now, in many ways, he's talking his own book in here that he's selling boxes of where people can run open models locally so that nobody can sort of spy on you. But he does make a good point here. So Elon Musk has also chimed in on this, basically pointing out that Anthropic is guilty of stealing training data at massive scales, and that they've actually had to pay out over $1 billion in settlements for what they actually did. And this was a case that was decided last year where Anthropic was actually sued for using a lot of books and basically training on them. And this was a huge settlement. This was a $1.5 billion payment to settle this copyright dispute over whether they actually had the right to do this or not. There also were rulings in Anthropic's favor over the use of copyrighted books. And one of the interesting things was that Anthropic actually went out and bought a bunch of books, which they had to buy the physical copies of, apparently, scan those in, then destroy the physical copies of those books to basically assert that they had one copy, which they had basically paid for the right to have that. And then they use those in the training of their models. Now, it gets very complicated very quickly here, but the US Copyright Office itself actually said that you couldn't copyright, outputs from these LLMs, that you could only assert copyright if humans had contributed sufficient expressive elements to the actual work.
16 million exchanges, John. DeepSeek, Moonshot. You created 24,000 fake accounts to distill Claude's grain.
Yes, I make new Claude. It is much better and very cheap.
That is industrial. 16 million.
Now, the thing that's clearly winning at the moment on Twitter are the actual memes around this. So the funniest one I've seen is actually Dario Amodei screaming at Jian Yang from the Silicon Valley TV show, accusing him of stealing the model, only to have him say that, okay, this is actually just open source. And I think that's how a lot of people kind of feel about this, that most of us didn't give permission for any of these companies to train on our data. And yet they basically scraped the internet and just took data to train on without anyone's actual permission of how to do this. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was actually distillation and what this is. So this has now become quite a famous paper from sort of 10 years ago, which was authored by Geoffrey Hinton, one of the godfathers of deep learning, Oriol Vinyals, who's now one of the heads of Gemini at Google DeepMind, and also Jeff Dean, who I think needs no introduction, but has basically been seminal, not just in deep learning, but in a lot of the technology that Google has built in the last 25 plus years. Now, the idea behind this paper is actually quite simple. And if you're interested in sort of reading about it, there are actually much more modern papers that talk about the concept of distillation for LLMs and different kinds of distillation. The key idea here, though, is that you're usually trying to train a smaller model to learn to be able to do what a bigger model can already do. And there are multiple ways to do that. One of the simplest ways to do that is to basically train on the outputs of other models. So if we look back a few years ago when OpenAI's GPT-4 came out, a lot of people trained open models or open weights models on the outputs of GPT-4 to improve the responses that they were able to get. Now, there are multiple ways of doing this. Training on other people's data is one way. Often what people will actually do, though, is if you actually own the models, distillation then becomes the secret for making smaller versions of the models. So if you imagine you've got a very big LLM model and you want to make a flash model, you want to make a mini model, you want to make something that's much smaller, what you actually do is train on that bigger model. And you don't just train on the outputs in those cases, you can actually train on what we call the logits. So rather than just training on what it's going to predict as the next token, you're training on the probability distribution of what it's going to predict in general. Now, there are lots of different techniques around this. The other thing that I think is really fascinating about distillation that people don't really talk about is that it's highly probable that the best models currently are very big models and they're just not available to the public. That what we're actually seeing when we're using perhaps a GPT-5 model is a distillation of a bigger version of that model. And as basically the game has moved towards inference nowadays, a lot of the labs are just not making their biggest, best models publicly available. They're actually distilling them down to versions that they can serve. Now, we know that that's certainly true for the mini models, the flash models, and the sort of haiku models, etc. But it may actually be even true for the much bigger models that everyone thinks are trained from scratch. One of the reasons that OpenAI wants to get rid of the GPT-4o models, and certainly the 4.5 model, why they got rid of that, was it was just so big that it was just impractical to run that for inference at scale. So overall, this is definitely an interesting topic to sort of see, okay, what is going on here? And whether or not we have the full truth about who's distilling which model to which other model, etc., we are probably never going to know for sure. It's an accusation that's been leveled at lots of models that have come in the past. My guess is going forward, we're going to see this accusation leveled again. You do have to wonder, if Anthropic was so good at detecting this, why didn't they stop this sooner? And it's something that's certainly not just unique to Anthropic, it's also Google, it's also OpenAI that have been talking about this kind of thing. So let me know in the comments what your take on it is. Is it fair for these big companies to be able to scrape everything and then complain when people are scraping the outputs of their models? Or do you feel that there is no copyright on these outputs and basically everyone should be able to train on them? We've certainly seen the whole debate of where the thinking processes are being summarized for the proprietary model providers rather than give out the actual tokens. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this. I think it's a topic that is not as clear cut as people like to make out. And some of these violations are coming basically from multiple companies, not just the Chinese open weight providers. But anyway, please chime in the comments. I think this one is kind of interesting to look at. And I'm kind of curious to get a sense of what other people are actually thinking about this. Anyway, as always, I will talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.